Hello, Cincy. I'm back with another Read Aloud, and this book I want to use for this week because it is Earth Day on Wednesday, April 22nd. And what I love about Earth Day is it's a great way to get outside, get into nature, and see what you can do, not only to clean up your community, but see what around you in nature and in your community that you can use to be creative with. We love being creative. Art is a great way to be creative. Music's a great way to be creative. And I want you this week to take advantage of some of the music at home challenges we've had, make a recycled instrument, go outside and see what sounds in nature you can hear. And this book that I'm using for today's Read Aloud may help you with some of those ideas. This book is published by Aladdin Paperbacks, and it's called Max Found Two Sticks by Brian Pinkney. I love this book because it gives me so many different ideas about getting out in nature, using the things around you to create music. It gives us ideas on how to recycle. It gives us ideas on finding things to be creative with. So let's check out Max Found Two Sticks by Brian Pinkney. Max found two sticks. It was a day when Max didn't feel like talking to anyone. He just sat on his front steps and watched the clouds gather in the sky. A strong breeze shook the tree in front of his house, and Max saw two heavy twigs fall to the ground. So two heavy twigs. "What are you going to do with those sticks?" Max's grandpa asked as he washed the front windows. Not saying a word, Max tapped on his thighs. Pat, pat, pat. Putter, putter, pat, tap. His rhythm imitated the sound of the pigeons, startled into flight. When Max's mother came home carrying new hats for his twin sisters, she asked, "What are you doing with Grandpa's cleaning bucket, son?" Max responded by patting the bucket, tap, tap, tap. So he's taken his two sticks that fell from that tree, and he's borrowed his grandfather's cleaning bucket, and now he's made his own drum. So he's using things in nature, and he's using things around his house. Tippy tip, tat tat. He created the rhythm of the light rain falling against the front windows. After a while, the clouds moved on and the sun appeared. Cindy, Sean, and Jamal showed up drinking sodas. "Hey, Max, what you doing with those hat boxes?" Again, Max didn't answer. He just played on the boxes. Dum, dum, de dum. So he still has those two sticks, and now he's taken those hat boxes that his mom brought home, and he's using those as a new type of drum. So first it was his legs, then it was Grandpa's bucket, and now it's the hat boxes. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dum-dum. Max drummed the beat of the tom-toms in a marching band. Many of you have done mini marching bands with me in music class outside the school at the end of the school year. And that's what he's doing. He's making his own mini marching band. Ooh, he's getting extra creative now. Let's see. "What are you up to with those soda bottles?" his dad asked as he brought out the garbage cans on his way to work. Max answered on the bottles. Dong, dang, dong. So now he's using more recycled materials, some different bottles of soda, empty bottles, and he's banging on those. Ding, dong, ding. His music joined the chiming of the bells in the church around the corner. Soon the twins came out to show off their new hats. "Hey, Max," they asked, "what are you doing with those garbage cans?" Max hammered out a reply on the cans. Cling, clang, da-bang. A cling, clang, da-bang. Max pounded out the sound of the wheels thundering down the tracks under the train on which his father worked as a conductor. if you look closely, you can see Max's dad is the train conductor. So now he's listening to the sounds around him. He's listening to things in his neighborhood, and he's finding those different sounds, and he's joining in and making his own like neighborhood music. Suddenly, Max heard thump-diddy-thump, thump-diddy-thump as a marching band rounded the corner. Now look at those drums that the marching band has. Do they look kind of like those garbage cans that Max is playing on? I think they look kind of similar. Max watched the drummers with amazement as they passed, copying their rhythms. The last drummer saw Max. Then, with a nod and a wink, he tossed Max his spare set of sticks. So instead of those 2 sticks that fell from the tree at the beginning of the book, he's got real drumsticks now. Thanks, called Max, and he didn't miss a beat. So let's think through all the different ways that Max used his environment and his creativity to make music. At the beginning of the book, he didn't feel like talking to anyone, and sometimes we have those days. I know that you might agree with me that sometimes there are days you just aren't in the mood to talk to someone right away. And he wasn't, but he was in the mood to make some music. So the sticks fell. He made some music by tapping the sticks on his legs. He tapped along to the rain on the windows. He borrowed his grandpa's wash bucket and he played on that. He borrowed his sister's hat boxes. He used the garbage cans in his neighborhood. He played along to the sounds he heard from the train above him, and then he also heard a real marching band, and he used his imagination to imagine a marching band too before he even saw one. So Max was super creative. He used things in nature and he used recycled materials too. So think back, and you might want to go find this other video here on my channel where I did a music at home challenge where I encouraged you to make a homemade instrument. And there was another challenge where I encouraged you to find something at home that you could play on, kind of like Max did. Of course, always ask permission. Don't just grab something if you're not sure if you should use it. So if you want to create a drum using something like a bowl or a bucket, or like I did, I used a coffee mug with some pencils, make sure you ask if it's okay. Maybe you even can get some recycled materials like I did. I used an empty can and an empty water bottle, and I made my own homemade maracas. Make sure you ask permission and see if you can get someone to help you with it and get really creative. See what you can do to recycle. Use your creativity and use the sounds in nature and see what you can do. What other creative things can you do like Max did? I'd love for you to share them with me. Either share in the comments or send me an email. Send me a video of you doing that, and enjoy doing some Earth Day music making this week.